Good evening. I am so enjoying these autumnal days. Yes, the weather has been very wet, very rainy, chilly, all of those things, but I have been really enjoying it and embracing it. And it's the perfect opportunity for me to share with you guys this week, which I'm very excited to do, our cozy autumnal meals that just keep our hearts warm as the days wind down and it gets darker in the evening, with special smells and aromas and feelings come into the household as autumn is here. We're starting off our evening. It's a Sunday evening. We've been sat by the fire. We've been enjoying candles and relaxation after the children went to bed. But it's time I got started on some cinnamon rolls. cinnamon rolls. These are such a delight to make. They're very simple. It's just a matter of pulling together all of the ingredients in the evening, if you like, or on the same day, kind of whatever suits you, and getting it to a step where you can leave it in the fridge overnight or on the counter for a bit and then baking them. And I've decided to start it on this cozy Sunday evening, get all of my ingredients together, and we can enjoy them in the morning. The dough here seems quite wet, but you do have to be really careful not to add too much flour. If you continue to add too much flour, your dough will become quite dense because it's got too much in. So yes, it doesn't look like it should at the moment, or like you feel like it should, but just stick with that slightly wet, sticky dough and let that do a bit of a rise after this process. And it's going to turn out delicious, and it really was super fluffy, just that perfect squishiness that you want in your cinnamon rolls. Trying to embrace cooking with the seasons this year. It's better for the environment, it's more wholesome in my view, and it really tests my homemaking skills and what we feed our family. I really like to think ahead a little bit on how each season can be made special through foods and different types of foods and what's in season. And obviously that is so different in each country too, and each climate. But for here in the UK, it's so nice to embrace those squash, butternut squash, pumpkin, potatoes, that kind of season as we come into autumn. And so I'm really trying to learn about the seasons and what's actually in season, in hopes that one day I'll grow my own vegetables. We do have some potatoes here in our back garden, but I'm pretty sure we collected them all last year, and I haven't found any yet It's not something I'm putting my hands to at the moment, being a mum of a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and so pregnant with our 3rd child, which we're really looking forward to. It's coming upon us very, very fast. It's happening in the next couple of weeks. Maybe even before this video comes out to you guys, I will have already given birth. That sounds like quite a nice thought at this point, because I'm feeling particularly heavy and quite exhausted. But I'm also feeling very excited to welcome an autumn baby. My son was born 2 years ago, almost to the day, and we welcomed him through the autumn, and sometimes it can make those sleepless nights feel really tiresome because the sun isn't coming up when you wake up and things like that. But I would like to really try and embrace that this time round in those small ways, and I think those small ways include things like yummy cinnamon rolls and coffee with pumpkin spice and maple syrup and all of those delicious things that are natural and good for us, but are just slightly more indulgent than the non-seasonal things. So I'm really looking forward to trying to embrace that this season with this new baby on his way. The trick to these cinnamon rolls is that cream. Making that cream about room temperature, pouring it all over the cinnamon rolls and baking it with the cream. You're going to get the most delicious caramelly base, and it just brings out the gooiness. It's absolutely a step you must not miss. Baking it in some cream. It sounds very bizarre, but it was absolutely gorgeous. The recipe also called for me to do a cream cheese topping, but honestly I didn't feel like it was necessary, and I didn't have the energy anyway. And so I just kept them as they were, sprinkled some sweet cinnamon on top and served it with a hot pot of mocha coffee, which we have been embracing this season, with some frothed milk. I use this particular milk frother that has been working really, really well for about 3 years for us now, and it's awesome. I will link it down below. It's very inexpensive and you don't need much. It's very small and very easily stored away, and I serve that with the mocha pot coffee and some chocolate sprinkles or some cinnamon or pumpkin spice, those kind of things on top. But I'll leave that link down for you guys, because that makes those coffee moments just all the more special. And obviously it's kid friendly too, they can get involved. So for our cozy autumn menu this week, we have been quite indulgent. And as I've been looking through this video, I'm noticing, Mia, where are the vegetables? Where are those, carb-free meals? Or what have you that I've been trying to do? You're not really going to find that here. These are quite indulgent, yummy, delicious, cozy meals that I have clearly been enjoying during the latter part of this pregnancy. And so you can add vegetables if you like. You can add a side of green beans to the meal here, which is a simple roast chicken. We do roast chicken all the time in this household. I like to have whole chickens in the freezer, and bung these in either in the morning, and we can have chicken sandwiches for lunch, or chicken rolls, which I will be sharing with you in this one. I do have a homemade mayo recipe that is super simple. It's 1 egg, 1 cup of avocado oil. I would definitely recommend using avocado oil and not olive oil. You can do olive oil, but you'll taste it a little bit more. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of mustard, blended together. And I think it's absolutely delicious. You don't have any of the other rubbish that comes in the mayonnaise from their shops, and it's super easy to make and stores in the fridge in a jar for a week or 2. Really, I'm pretty relaxed about how long it's in there. I wouldn't go more than 2 weeks. But I really like to serve roast chicken with mayo and have that on a salad or in a roll. If you're interested in my roll recipes, then I shared it in a video 1 or 2 videos ago. They are absolutely splendid and they turn out perfect every time. I can't claim that it's my recipe actually, because it's not. It's a King Arthur baking recipe called Beautiful Burger Buns or something like that. If you're interested, definitely check those out, because they're just delightful and they turn out really, really well every time. And my children love them. I share them with guests and they have been very impressed. And it's a super easy, throw in the stand mixer, mix it all together, and then pretty much let it rise and divide and shape. So super simple. But I also like to serve this with sourdough bread. And it's just very, very simple. But roast chicken goes a long way in our house. We either serve it with, like I said, sandwiches, or we move it into dinner time and do a chicken pot pie, which I was going to do on this day, but I didn't get to it. And we also had so many leftovers. I really didn't want to waste any of the food. And so I decided to move through to a fajita type meal, which was super delicious. And I served that with peppers and onions and rice. And I'm racking my brain thinking I must have served it with something green, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think I did. And so we just had carbs upon carbs upon carbs this week, with some sweet things in the middle. And you know what, it was delightful and I wouldn't change it. So we all have those weeks, especially 38, 39 weeks pregnant. I'd really like to get my hands on some bulk meat for the winter to stock up our freezer, to make meal prep and planning for meals, and making meals super simple for when baby arrives. So if any of you guys in the UK know of any online bulk shops or any places you can buy sort of half cows, half sheep, whatever, half lamb, thinking maybe a quarter of a cow would fit in our freezer at the moment. But if you have any recommendations, then do let me know, because I'm definitely interested. We eat a lot of sausages and bacon and things in this house, mostly carb free, believe it or not this week. But if you know any, then do let me know, because I'm just so intrigued. I normally get a bunch of meat from Costco, divide it up and freeze it, which does work really well. But I'd like to invest in some higher quality meat that feeds our family well, is preferably like a grass-fed beef, and not too expensive. So I'm not asking for much really, am I? this autumn is full of cozy and lovely and precious things for you guys. And I hope that the Lord blesses you and keeps you and your family. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.